Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone in person here for coming. Thank you, everyone online for joining us here in Sedona for this transmission. I generally don't have too much to say because it's not me that you've come to hear. So I'm going to get straight to the channeling, and we'll start out with Ananda and we'll see what they have to say to us. It should be a fun couple of days. Oh, we're with you again, dear ones. We are Ananda. We are this being's guides and teachers. We are a group consciousness, and we are here to help you in your ascension process. We have been working with this being for almost 10 years now within her own awareness, but we were working with her before that, leading her towards the opening that would bring through these teachings and that would allow her to assist you in her own way with your ascension process. Now, 10 years ago, we came into this being's life in a great big flash of love, and she had the time of her life, experiencing energies and a shift in consciousness that she had never, ever experienced before. And what we want you to know is that that's possible for all of you. All of you have the ability to raise your frequency to the point where your guides and teachers can come bursting through into your life. So if you are in a place in your life right now where you're reading A Course in Miracles and you're listening and watching this material, and you find yourself thinking, well, nothing's happening, we want you to understand that there's a reason that you're not aware of the shifts and changes that are happening within your own psychology. The human mind is very, very precariously balanced on almost insanity, we will say. A lot of you are easily upset, you are volatile, you're emotional, and these are qualities of the ego. They are not qualities of your true self. And we come through beings very, very cautiously because of this. You have a society in which the slightest twitch that you are not in control of means there's something terribly wrong with you. You come from a society and through a society that will not tolerate even the slightest shift and change in your consciousness without saying you're bipolar or you're psychotic or you are having a mental breakdown. So we approach all of you very, very cautiously. And so we want you to understand that we do not initiate contact unless we see that your consciousness is extremely stable. So if you are feeling as if you have done lots of work and yet there's no manifestations happening, you're not getting any energy feelings in your body, you're not having any prophetic dreams, you're not automatic writing, whatever it is that you feel you should be doing, what we would like you to do is to reflect upon the level of your peace of mind, because we do not want to bring fear into your mind, and we do not want to bring any kind of agitation into your mind. So when we first came in contact with this being, she had been studying Course in Miracles for a long time. She was deeply immersed in a surrender practice, deeply immersed in a forgiveness practice. And we, in fact, waited a long time to make contact with this person because we wanted to bring forth such a body of work that we did not want to introduce ourselves at a lower frequency. We can introduce ourselves at a lower frequency in some instances when there is not such a large body of work to be brought through. But we wanted to wait until the absolute perfect moment with this being because of the assignment that she has taken on in this time and in this place. And all of you that are listening to this, all of you that are watching this, understand the effect that these channeling sessions have had on your lives, and the effects that the changes that you have gone through are having on other people's lives, and so on and so on and so on. This is a rock that's been thrown in a tranquil pond, and it is touching places far, far away from the initial instigation. So we want you to understand that even if you feel that you're in a beginning stage, even if you feel that you are not getting the results that you would like, trust in those small increments of increased peace in your mind. Trust in those small shifts in perception. Trust in the fact that you know when something feels right and you know when something feels wrong. This is a most important time in each of your individual spiritual evolutionary journeys. The choices that you are making right now will impact you for a very, very long time. And we want you to understand this, that those beings in your lives that are making decisions that you don't agree with, they are going to have an experience of their decisions, and you are going to have an experience of your decisions. When you get to the end of this incarnation and you have your life review, each one of you will have a life review within which you will look at all of the decisions that you made throughout this entire incarnation. You will feel everything that you made others feel. You will revisit so many circumstances and relationships and experiences. Every single one of those relationships and experiences and interactions with other beings have been precipitated by your ability to choose. Your ability to use your free will to say, I'm going to talk to this person, or I'm not going to eat that food, or I'm going to go on this trip, or I'm going to go to this college. You have been using your free will throughout this incarnation to get you to this point where you are right now, where you've made this decision to sign up for an online channeling session, or you've come to a specific location to enjoy it in person. Your free will is yours. Your free will is the thing that helps you create the life, the experience, the spiritual evolution that you have come here to experience. Once your free will is taken away from you, then your ability to grow spiritually is taken away from you. This is a place of free will. This is a place where you get to choose, you get to have an experience, and you get to learn from that experience. So what's happening in your society at this time is a removal of your free will. And it's so important for you to understand the magnitude of the changes that are going on in your society at this time, and the importance of you staying connected to your ability to choose. You must remain connected to your ability to choose, which means you must be able to assess a situation intelligently, research it if necessary, using lots of different sources of information, never use one source of information, and to sit with those decisions for a while until you can feel that you are on the right track. You must remember that there are forces at play in your world right now that are bent on taking your free will from you. And from a spiritual point of view, this is less than ideal. It is less than ideal. We're being very, very cautious in our words here. We do not want to frighten anybody. We do not want to confuse anybody. But what we want to emphasize right now is that when you lose your free will, then your spiritual evolution stops. Now, your free will can be used within the quiet of your own mind. Somebody may say, I'm putting you into this jail cell, and your mind will still be free. So your free will is still at play. This is not about the body. This is about the mind. This is about your consciousness. And what we want to say right now is the methodologies that are being used in your society right now to take away your free will are being used on the mind. So you have the propaganda streams that are coming through your televisions and your computers. And you have this other thing that has come into play here, which is to shift and change your ability to employ your free will. That is what it is for. It has nothing to do with sickness at all. That is not what it is about. It is about removing your ability to choose. So as you're going through your daily life, as you're going through the decision-making processes that you have to go through, as you encounter all kinds of different situations, this is what we want you to remember, that anything that impinges with the ability of your mind to function needs to be removed from your experience. So we've been talking about things, but now we'd like to talk about other things that impede your mind's ability to see clearly and to assess situations strategically. So we're talking about mind-altering substances here. So that could be nicotine, that could be caffeine, that could be alcohol, that could be recreational drugs of any kind. Now, what we want to emphasize, we're emphasizing that here right now because this is a time where you need all of your faculties. You need all of your abilities in tip-top shape. And so if there's been a little bit of foot dragging in terms of getting rid of some of these substances, what we would like to emphasize right now is it's time to clean things up. It's time to clean things up, not in the sense of, oh, it's healthier for you, or it's better for you, or your skin's going to look nicer, or whatever it is. But it is about your free will. It is about understanding that psychically, this is a time for you to have healthy boundaries and very, very good self-awareness, so that you're not being taken down a road that you don't want to go down, that you're not not in charge of your faculties. There are forces at play right now that are looking for any crack through which they can access your consciousness. Now, this seems a bit scary for you. This seems a little bit difficult for you to accept. But what we want you to understand is that this is the end of a spiritual season. The end of a spiritual season is where you have the opportunity to set right anything that you have not yet dealt with, to set things right, to remove from your mind that which is not loving, to remove from your mind distortions, to do that in a way that is meaningful and takes you towards that goal to which you are striving. You need all of your faculties available to you, and you need to be in tip-top shape in that sense, in the way your brain functions, in the way you assess situations, in the way you are able to analyze your emotions. So let's say, for example, you go to a party and somebody's passing around a joint and you take a toke of that joint. You immediately become psychically vulnerable to lower frequency beings. You immediately become psychically vulnerable to lower frequency beings. You are not aware of it, but from an energetic level, we see that. So we want you to become wonderful gatekeepers of your consciousness at this time. It's so important for you to understand this at this time, because it is the end of a spiritual season. There are forces at play that want to move you in a different direction. So there's a fork in the road here. There's a fork in the road here. One fork in the road is towards ascension, and to go down that path, you need your faculties intact. You need to understand how your mind works. You need to understand how your guidance system works. You need to understand what makes you afraid. You need to understand what makes you confused. You need to be able to assess on an ongoing basis what is going on within your body-mind consciousness. The other